Hello, and welcome to The Journey. I'm Asa Ashley, your host. This is episode 0, our very first step together. Today, we'll embark on an extraordinary adventure through time and space, following the footsteps of one of history's most prolific travelers, Ibn Battutah. From the heart of Africa to the edge of Asia and beyond, we'll explore his incredible voyages and the rich tapestry of cultures he encountered along the way. So sit back, relax, and get ready to journey into the far past. In the spring of 1350, a gathering convened in the garden near Granada. The garden's owner, a scholar of Islamic law, hosted several dignitaries from the capital to meet two distinguished guests. One was an Andalusian poet whose verses resonated in classical Arabic. The other, a Moroccan native of Tangier, recently returned from the East. I was present in that garden, recalled a young chronicler later, as Sheikh Abu Abdallah regaled us with his tales of his travels. I meticulously recorded the names of renowned figures he encountered, enriching our knowledge. Listeners found solace and enlightenment in Ibn Battutah's narratives. Despite Granada's cultural richness and architectural grandeur, the city was the final bastion of Moorish civilization in Al-Andalus, surrounded by Christian territories reclaimed during the Reconquista. Travel across its few remaining Muslim-held routes was perilous. Ibn Battutah himself narrowly escaped Christian raiders along the coast near Fuengirola. Thus, tales of thriving Muslim states in Volga, in India, Sumatra, and down Africa's eastern coast offered a beacon of hope in this embattled outpost of Islamic civilization at the far western edge of the known world. Ibn Battutah recounted a world vast yet interconnected. In China, he heard verses by the Sadi, the Shirazi poet from across Asia, sung along the Hangzhou River. In Huzhou, he encountered a man from Ceuta, a day's journey from his hometown in Tangier. Later, leaving Spain, he would stay with the man's brother south of the Atlas Mountains. Even in Granada, he met individuals from Anatolia, Central Asia, and India. Ibn Battutah's travels were not unique. What set him apart was his commitment to documentation, dictating his memoirs a few years after that garden gathering, under the patronage of the Sultan of Morocco. The results: Tufat al-Uzir fi Garaib al-Mazir wal-Rajib al-Asar, or a gift to those who contemplate the wonders of cities and the marvels of traveling, remains perhaps the most extensive travelogue ever penned, covering approximately 75,000 miles. In an era where the pilgrimage to Mecca and visiting the Prophet's tomb in Al-Madinah were religious obligations for Muslims able to undertake them, Ibn Battutah's journey from Tangier was more duty than choice. Yet his motivations were multifaceted, shaped by his background and many ambitions. Born in 1304 to a family of North African descent, Ibn Battutah, despite his Latwa lineage, would have resisted being labeled a Berber. His ancestors migrated from Morocco to Libya centuries earlier. Though not ethnically Arab, he embraced Arab Muslim culture wholeheartedly. The role of Qadi, the judge, he claimed, was his family's legacy, with Islamic jurisprudence and Arabic linguistics central to his scholarly pursuits. While his family was respected but not prominent, Ibn Battutah sought a different path at age 21, yearning for broader horizons. Travel for the acquisition of knowledge, wrote Ibn Khaldun, his younger North African contemporary. is essential for intellectual growth and learning from esteemed mentors. The Prophet Muhammad certainly endorsed this view. Seek knowledge, even in China. For most Maghrebis, however, the East typically meant Cairo, Damascus, and Mecca. The question then is not why Ibn Battutah embarked on his journey, but why he ventured so far. His travels spanned from 1325 to 1354, a period post-Crusades and amidst the settling of the Tartars, who had devastated much of Eastern Muslim world before embracing Islam and destabilizing across Eurasia. His travels spanned from 1325 to 1354, a period post-Crusades and amidst the settling of the Tartars, who had devastated much of the Eastern Muslim world before embracing Islam and stabilizing across Eurasia. Trade routes flourished, and Ibn Battutah, armed with the expertise in the fiqh, Islamic jurisprudence, possessed a valuable commodity. While modern readers might struggle to grasp its appeal, ruling elites, once nomadic warlords, prized having a legal expert from the Islamic heartlands in their courts. Ibn Battutah was keenly aware of this, bolstering his academic credentials with brief studies in Damascus and Mecca before embarking on an expansive journey through these Eastern Islamic lands, aiming, if such a term applies to his meandering path, for the grand prize, Delhi. His arrival there proved fortuitous. The Sultan appointed him Al-Qadi of the city and endowed him with the income of a minor potentate. Ironically, it was the wake of this success that Ibn Battutah's fortunes fluctuated dramatically, akin to a series of adventures reminiscent of Voltaire's Candide. But why did Ibn Battutah travel so extensively? If queried, he might recount meeting the Saint Burhan al-Din al-Aim in Alexandria, who foresaw Ibn Battutah's journeys and urged him to convey greetings to his spiritual brethren in Sind, India, and China. He was amazed by his prediction, for the idea of visiting these lands was firmly planted in his mind, spurring ceaseless wanderings until he had fulfilled his prophetic words. Subsequently, a detailed itinerary unfolded in a dream interpreted by another saint, a testament to Ibn Battutah's belief that waking and dreaming were pages of the same book, to be read sequentially. For him, destiny intertwined seamlessly with his quest. Ibn Battutah effortlessly straddled two worlds, one of wealth, luxury, and formalities, and the other inhabited by saints, mystics, and medicants. He amassed possessions, horses, and concubines, along with spiritual figures like yogis and monks, whom he held in awe of their supernatural abilities. A modern Moroccan commentator critiqued his unquestioning acceptance of the supernatural, highlighting a fundamental characteristic of the travels. A 40-day fast broken by a single bean, the miraculous harvesting of coconuts and pomegranates in midwinter were not mere curiosities, but integral to Ibn Battutah's narrative. Yet while steeped in spirituality, the Travels also offers astute observations. Ibn Battutah is one of the most powerful primary sources on pre-Ottoman Turkmen states in Anatolia, the Golden Horde Khanate, the Delhi Sultanate, the Maldives, and the Mali Empire. His English translator, Gibb, hailed him as the supreme example of a geographer against his will. One might also add a hagiographer, ethnographer, biographer, anecdotal historian, and occasional botanist and gastronome to his multifaceted credentials. It is these diverse interests that render Travels monumental in scope, though its breadth may have been hindered by its widespread popularity. 4th century readers were more inclined towards the polished prose of earlier travelers like Ibn Jubayr or the dense volumes of Ibn Rushayd, whose compilation of the Prophet's sayings posed as perhaps the most exhaustive travel account ever written. Even today, detractors to Battutah's Arabic prose, Dr. Muhammad Mustafa Ziyada identified unacceptable eclecticisms and grammatical errors, countered by the late Abdullah Qanun, a staunch defender of the traveler's legacy. However, the travels convey more than knowledge, shaping the listener's mindset and imagination. 14th century audiences were captivated by the imagined Eastern periphery. They marveled at curiosities like the beehives of Sumatra and the Great Wall of China, often depicted as the Wall of Battutah. For European chroniclers, this divide was most evident in Marco Polo's accounts, as was the case with the Middle Kingdom's chronicles. Ibn Battutah's writing style, much like the magical realism found in later literary traditions, was the first subject of interest that originally drew me to investigating more of his writings. For his accounts are rich with extraordinary events and encounters that, while rooted in his real-life travels, often take on a dreamlike quality. This narrative approach not only captivates the reader, but also transcends the boundaries of mere travel documentation, offering a vivid and imaginative portrayal of the world. By intertwining the mystical and the mundane, Ibn Battutah crafts a literary tapestry that resonates with the essence of magical realism, inviting readers to explore reality where the miraculous and the ordinary coexist harmoniously. Thank you for joining me on this maiden episode of The Journey. I hope you enjoyed this glimpse into the world of Ibn Battutah and are excited as I am to continue exploring his travels in future episodes. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, leave a comment, and share with friends. Your support helps bring more stories of adventure and discovery to life. Until next time, I'm Asa Ashley, and this has been The Journey. Safe travels.